Qṇts Ialakli. I'm from Goose Island. That's where my name comes from. It's really amazing like how much connection Seas has to me as a person. When I'm out on my territory, there's usually a knowledge keeper on the boat. I'm from Roscoe Inlet and Goose Island. He explains like the story, the creation story, the history there, and things that make it special. I have to say, learning the stories and bringing it back and being able to tell that story myself is one of the things that I really enjoy, because now I can do that while I work as a health EA in the school.
So the SEAS program, our philosophy or our idea behind it is to allow students opportunities to learn on the land, but not only just learn Western science, which is what we do in the classroom, but it connects it to our traditional science.
Whether it be salmon or whether it be out hunting for deer or ducks, or, you know, we slowly work into it. So in the beginning, when they first come out and they first get their first few field trips in, it's about being out and understanding that, you know, there's a time to harvest a certain thing, and knowing the time, and then, you know, then later it's about different plants. Sometimes it's indicator plants. You know, like I'll be out and then I'll be telling the little ones, you know, it's like, oh, you see this plant? You know, my grandfather told me when this plant flowers in the spring, it's time to go and harvest seaweed. When the plant blossoms and turns into a berry, and when that happens, the sockeye are coming home, and then it's time to go and harvest sockeye. You know, so then it's that relationship with the territory that has been taught to me the same way as this program.
We learn about fish a lot, and sometime this month we're gonna do Salmon Fest, is where we can fish, we cut fish, and we dry fish, and then we give it away to our elders.
Last year's Salmon Fest, I was showing little kids how to do it.
So we cut the fins off, I'm pretty sure, and then you cut through the middle of it, and then you cut like pieces off, I'm pretty sure, and you just put it in there.
So one of the things that we really try to do is we try to make sure that our students that have been through the program or who have, you know, done this learning already have an opportunity to take leadership roles. And so, for example, during Salmon Fest, you'll see maybe some older students that will be cleaning fish, that will be helping to jar fish. That will be their role in the transmission of knowledge to then their younger siblings or cousins, other students in the school. And so you get to see this progression where they, you know, suddenly they're just in the stage where they're watching to now they're doing. And so that's such a great opportunity for them to then even change their role from being like, I have this skill now, I can do this task, but now I can also help teach other people that task.
So we got to go to Qṇts, and there's a whole bunch of salmon, and there's a stone trap that when the tide go down, the fish would be trapped in there, and there are these wooden sticks sticking out, so the earth to slow the salmon down so they can catch them easier.
So if you like getting dirty, let's do it. Let's dig, let's auger, let's put rocks on the stonefish trap, let's dig in the clam bed. The important part of field work. Emphasize to them that just don't call them FATA10 or an arc site or stonefish trap. Let's start calling them stonefish trap as a Qṇts and clam bed as a Qṇts. We start using the language, start speaking the language. We bring elders on site, and it feels multi-generational, like a home and in a potlatch setting, not like a classroom setting.
The Children's Cultural Celebration, also known as the CCC, is basically like a play potlatch hosted by the children of the school. Everybody does a part in prepping for it. So the children from K4 to grade 7 dance. We have youth singing, we have youth dancing, we have youth serving, and we also make our own dry goods.
And you can just see the pride in not just our children but our teenagers. to be able to hand those out to the community and say, yeah, I helped make that.
It's embedding them with who we are from a young age, and they all grow into different roles as they get older.
Who we are as Haíță people, we were always canoe-going people. So we lived off the land and the ocean. I see the community has a lot of respect for the SEAS program because of the benefits it has for a community with being able to provide them with traditional foods that our youth can go out and gather for them, medicine, making the medicine, and then sharing it with the community.
I think on a grander scale, it is about food sovereignty. So it does teach a lot about like how do we, keep ourselves in our traditional foods and, what we know to be nutritious and good for our bodies.
I feel the most valuable aspects of the SEAS program is, even though it is an educational purpose, but it also teaches respect of the land and respect of the ocean, respect of our resource people, and respect of each other in general. And a lot of times you know so-and-so doesn't get along with so-and-so, but once you're out on the land and water, all that just goes away. A strong connection is formed, and they're a lot more calmer, and they come back and they're more willing to learn more, and they want to learn more.
The SEAS program has given me a lot of knowledge of our territory. I feel more confident swimming, dancing, fishing, going out on the boat, seaweed picking, harvesting cedar bark, berry picking and tell the berries apart, each of the berries.
Well, it's who we are, it's our identity. So having the children touch base with nature is what they need in order to connect with our ancestors.
And we think of over 14,000 years of education being on the land for Haíță youth. And so when we have our students out on the land, you can see it in their faces, you can see the excitement that comes in, you can see improved listening, you can see improved participation. And then when we take that back to the classroom, it provides more purpose for their learning.
Some of our students who return home after growing up in the city or spending considerable time in our city, the SEAS program really offers them an opportunity to be connected to land and to be connected to their culture in a way that they've never done before, and we see that in some of our students who return home.
So land-based education isn't something that's usually part of a school budget, so it's really important to continue reaching out for funding like this kind of program, especially in remote communities. It's fairly costly to do these kind of field trips and get students out on the land, but the value that comes from doing those kind of trips is more than made up for by how important being out there is for our youth and our community, and to have that opportunity for people to be sharing their knowledge out in the place where that knowledge comes from.
The more people that are educated about our resources, then the stronger we're going to become when those little ones that are in K4 and K5, all the way through, they're going to have a better understanding of our territory and how to manage it. Some of them are going to go out and they're going to enjoy the trips. Some of them are going to go out and they're going to find a calling that this is where they need to be. I need to be, science-based, where I can educate myself further and then come home and use what I learned and apply it to helping to protect what's left.
The territory is everything to me. I have been here for 6 years, and it's just been the best 6 years of my life.